Sorry guys, hope that now I am audible to you. This is the module on part 2 where we are going to discuss about the spatial data because when we are finally go for a hands-on practice, we have to a little bit understanding about the spatial data. So uh, for the spatial data session, you just think about that why we need a spatial data because from the previous session you have seen that uh, some output some previous session you have seen some output where you need some data like different types of data. So uh, just think about that. We are nowadays we are mostly using some location map like Google Map and other maps. So we are periodically and our day-to-day work, we are using lots of GIS tools and lots of GIS squads. So in this in that context, we have to clear understanding about some GIS data. So let's see about what kinds of GIS data we have discussed about today. So first question, what is geospatial data? Previous sessions I give you some reflection about the geospatial data. So when you are going to search a location like where you are desired to go. So when you put the name of the location, basically in the back end of the tools, they are going to search for a location that is the latitude and longitude. So all the geospatial data are directly linked with the latitude and longitude. Like that, uh, they are needed some position. That there's some absolute position, like where location is that. Uh, Before GIS, we are using the location based on the relative location, like this location is besides of this location, like where is the museum? Museum is beside or northern part of the market. So we're using this kind of relative location, but when we using the geospatial data, so geospatial data helps you to give the absolute location. So this is the major difference between the others data, location data and geospatial location data. Uh, Additionally, this geospatial data helps you to visualize the information, like how many people are living in this area or how many shops in this area. This kind of visualization will also help use the geospatial data. Also, you have seen the previous discussion, Sir shared some uh, output, how geospatial data transferred to the information. Also, we use the digital data in the digital response, health services, surveillance, climate, or urban planning. Sir mentioned clearly that when we are going to respond any digital event, we need some digital data. Basically, we need how many people affected, where location the incident was happened. So this kind of digital data we needed. So major two types of digital data we are using. One is raster data, and other is vector data. So you all are using the raster data because when you capture a phone or capture a photo with your phone, that's some kind of raster data. The major difference is that that phone image pixel have not any coordinate value, but when you using the raster data, every image have some the location references. Like that, when you talked about grid of pixels, that each pixels have some value and each pixels have some location references. You have seen that very clearly see an image where the zooming is showing. When we are zooming the image, we have seen this kind of rectangular picture in the inner image. So each rectangular shape represents a specific value. And also this rectangular image stored the location value. We have seen that this has a four corner and it has a specific location and the resolution like that, the image size is. When you capture a photo your phone, you have some concern about the resolution. As previously when before the smartphone came, when we captured the photos, we have seen that the image resolution is very low. That is basically uh, 2 megapixel camera phone are using on that time. Now we are using higher uh, resolution phone and capture the image. We have to see the higher resolution. So when you zoom in your photo, you have seen some these kinds of square shapes. So this is the major factor that raster data. So raster data is to two types of information. One is the cell value, which cell represent what is the value of the raster information, and another is the stored the geographical position, like what is the latitude or longitude. So what kind of raster data we are regularly use? That is, one is the imagery, the image of taken from satellite or even the drone, or even we are taken from the radar image or the different types of sensors. So different types of imagery we are collecting. Secondly, we are using raster data in the digital elevation model, like the how the elevation of your location or the in the area we are going to see that is the using that same raster data. Thirdly, we have seen that the most of the climate data we are using the raster format, because climate data mostly using net format, that is one kind of similar to the raster data, so very easy to use. Uh, Different types of raster data they have, like the land use classification. We have seen that, or the elevation, that is the continuous value. So the common raster format are the GOT format, that is the geographical position linked the TIP format. And already I mentioned that the net CDF format and HDF5 format. So these are the common format of the raster data. So another thing is the vector data. Please look at the picture. We are here. We are trying to give you a comparison between the raster data model and the vector data model. You have seen the here. You have seen two types of data. One is the raster model and the vector model. In the point data, you have seen in the raster in the XY. Based on the XY position, raster data have a specific vector data. Just we are stored as a point based on the location, like what is the X value and what is the Y value. But in the raster format, we are using the specific area location and that has some value. So different types of vector data we have used, that is the point data. And second, you have seen that the line data. And third, you have seen that this have some the area. So for the different purpose, we are using the different types of vector data model, because for the location purpose, we are mostly using the point shapes, but when we think about the area, then we are working on the polygon or the area file. And when we think about the transportation route or the road network, then we can work with the line data. So different types of, we have seen mostly three format. One is the point, and that is the line, and the third one is the polygon. So already mentioned the different way we could use this data. For location purpose, we are using the point data. For the road network or the communication network, we are using the line data, and for the area purpose, we are using the polygon or polygon data. The vector data has different format, but most common format we are using, that is the shapefile .hsp, and we are using another format, that is the GeoPackage or GPACKG format, and sometimes we using the GeoJSON file, that is using the JSON format, and KML file. So also there are different types, additional types of the vector data. So, what are the geographical types of data? You have seen that we are collecting data from the satellite, that is the imagery we capture from the space or from the airborne images. For the high resolution data, we are mostly depend on the aerial photography. We are flying a vehicle over our desired location and collect our desired images. We are collecting LiDAR image from the LiDAR sensor data. Also, we are collecting data from the digital elevation model, that is the train representation, like how the elevation uplift or lower lift. And geospatial imagery, there are different format of geospatial imagery, and different. We are collecting data from the different sensors, different way. So these are mostly different types of geographic data, but we are working on it. So for the working, we need some data. So globally, where are the major data set or platform we have where we to collect this data set? The Sentinel is one of the platform hosted by Copernicus, and it is providing you the freely available higher resolution data like 10-meter data set you have find, or 15-meter, or for the thermal images you have get the 30-meter or 90-meter images. Landsat provide us a long-lasting historical data from, like you have got the data after 17th through the 17th century. So if you need the historical data here for the imagery or your location, you may depend on the Landsat. Like if you want to see that how your village is changing over the period of time, last 5 or around 5 decades, you may depend on the Landsat images because it has stored a historical record. Currently, Google Earth Engine is very handy tool. It will give you access to a lot of readily available data for your analysis. So it's really gives you a leverage to do some extensive work without downloading data in your local computer, rather than you could do some cloud computation through the Google Earth Engine. Community-driven data is very useful for us, like that OpenStreetMap provide us a very crucial data, like the community is input some data freely available. So that data is really you could use different types of incident like disaster or anything other happened. So besides this, for immense stored data locally, I believe that each country has some data base or share some geospatial data. Like Bangladesh, we have the national spatial data infrastructure, or GeoDash, where the different agencies and governments share the geospatial data for your use, and through downloading their data, you could use that data. For humanitarian purpose, Humanitarian Data Index, HDX, is very useful for you for collecting the data. So these are the major source of data. You could readily get some data and use for analysis. So we should understand about the theme of data, because when you go for a work or complete product, you have to deal with different types of data. Like if you want to prepare a base map of your community, you need different types of data, like the administrative boundary. You need some political or administrative boundary to demarcation your area. And this kind of data is mostly dealing with the government, because that is the political or administrative issue, and there are some legal process that who could dealing with that data. So if you want to deal with your community or your area, you need some administrative data. Secondly, the socio-economic or geographic data. We have seen that the previous discussion shared some output. You have seen that the uh, uh, per capita income, different country around the world. You have seen that there's kind of socioeconomic data is the showing. Additionally, we could show the demographic data like the level of population, the layer of population, the different country or your community in the different pocket, like different uh, administrative unit. Like in your country, there are some administrative unit. You need to understand the population density is administrative unit. You could deal with the demographic layer of the population data. For the communication purpose, you need some transportation data. So nowadays, uh, if you are handy on the using the Google Maps, you could go anywhere because you just go for a search the location, and if the location is demarcation in the Google Map, then it has show you the shortest path. How could you reach that position? So the different way, like if you're going to like walking or the to the train or the bus or the motorbike or the waterway. So it's show you different level of discussions. Secondly, we have seen that lots of environmental or land cover data sets. Like when you deal with the climate change data set, we want to see that how the temperature is changing over the period in our locality. So this kind of environmental or the when you deal with the weather, when you deal with the forest cover in your area, like uh, vegetation index or water index in your area. So we deal with the environmental data or land cover data set. Uh, if you're going to deal with the flood or the water flow in your area, you have to deal with the hydrograph data, like the discharge location or the river network or the path of the water flow. Also, you need to identify the coastal data for dealing with this. So in the left side, you have seen that uh, the when you deal with the political administration boundary, road network, or other position like data, the area of a boundary, we mostly deal with the vector format data. We work on the vector format vector data. Uh, Secondly, you have seen that when you're dealing with the land use, when you're dealing with the elevation of the land, what the real world scenario, we are working the raster format data. So this basic understanding is needed and helps you to deal with the tomorrow's and the next sessions. So basically we are discuss on the data. So yes, we have the data. So how we deal with the data, what we want to do with the data, how we analyze the data. There are lots of tools, thousands of tools now readily available to to analysis and the process of this data. Mostly, I believe on the free world. So QGIS is the open source data set that is really helpful for you to uh, dealing with the lots of data. And in the QGIS, there are lots of tools are readily available, lots of plugin, and the community is very strong. If you face any challenges, you just post in the community. You have seen that lots of people are going to help you. Secondly, ArcGIS Pro, this is the commercial. So as it is commercial, it's have some, uh, it's really a immense interface that helps you to deal with different types of analysis. There was some advanced analysis in the ArcGIS Pro. You could deal with the 3D mapping to understand the evaluate the real world scenario. Uh, Google Earth Engine, already I mentioned that is the cloud-based, and mostly remote sensing analysis. QGIS is very handy. If you very good at QGIS, you will deal with different types of remote sensing data. Already mentioned the OpenStreetMap, but OSM. This is cloud source open data set and around the world, and deal with the work on the deal with the people are posting their information. Secondly, you have seen that Kobo toolbox that is widely used for the survey. So it also collects the location data. And if you think about the GeoCoding, LibGet or GeoPandas will be helpful for you, because for the web integration or the Python libraries, that will be very helpful for the visualization and work on the data. Besides this, there are lots of tools, GIS tools like Eloise, like EMB, and the Intrograph, like the ADAS imaging. So lots of tools that are readily available to work on. So for selecting the tools, you really consider about the use of tools, why you use these tools, what is the purpose of these tools. When you're dealing with the data, some things you need to consider, because data gives you information. If any error or if any problem with the data, that error is transferred to the information quality. So for the better information, you should deal with the better quality of data. So firstly, you consider the quality of data. In the quality, you should consider the accuracy, because let's think about the satellite data. When the satellite data is collecting from the space, so there are lots of anomaly, lots of distortion through when the sensor is going through that. So that's why you need to collect. You need to think about the different types of correction, geometric correction, radiometric correction. Lots of correction you need to do. The improve the accuracy of the data. You need to think about the precision, the data, the how level of precision, because when the data output going through this imagery, you think about the precision. And additional things is the completeness, the level of complete, because when you perform different types of operation, like the radiometric correction, the geometric correction, there have lots of mathematical tools that helps you to do this operation. Sometimes you need to the validation of the data, because for the collection of the GIS data, there are some errors, because just think about you are doing a survey, collecting the GIS position over the your Kobo toolbox through the mobile phone. Yesterday I've seen that is mobile phone is connected with the internet. The Kobo toolbox gives a better position. So when you're collecting the data, so you need to verify and need to ground truth if data is corrected or level of precision. So sometimes you need to do some cross comparison with the other data, the level of to analyze the level of accuracy, level of precision, and the level of usability. And sometimes we do some peer review analysis, because some people are already doing that work, so they will have some better understanding about the position, about the output of the information, and about the data. Finally, there are some ethical issue and privacy, because now the current world, data is the core information for anything like that. If you have seen that if you do with some analysis, so you are collecting lots of personal and community data. So some level of ethical issue you should consider to do the analysis and share with the public platform. And you think about the privacy of the data, because when you collecting the demographic data, sometimes personal information there have. So when there are personal information, you should consider think about the privacy of the data. So this is the end of the second session and today's last session. So in the first session, we are discussing about the basic ideas and gives you a glimpse how GIS is performed and how GIS is working on, and that's why I share some experience and share some output to you to share with you that yes, the GIS gives you this kind of data. So in the next day, we are discussion on we are doing some hands-on practice on the work on the preparation of a base map and other maps. And the last day we work on perform some remote sensing analysis or RS analysis to share with you how easily we could do some analysis using the Google Earth Engine. So thank you all to give patents and stay on our sessions. We have some really, I feel that you expect some more better discussion, but due to the volume of participants, we are not allowing you to audio question. We request you, all of you, to put your question in the chat box or Q session. Before doing that, I want to share with you something. First of all, we are sharing the presentation with you so that you don't worry about the discussion. So additionally, we are sharing the handout so that through the reading you could get some ideas. So the handout is sharing the last day of the session. Handout and the presentation both are sharing the all three after all of the session. And now I ask you to put your question in the QA or QA box or the chat box, so that we could give you some answer. Already some of the questions that are we dealing on the map. Yes, we are working on the map, and next day we are doing some practice on how we could easily do some prepare some base map or other maps. So one of our GIS expert will share with you. Really welcome all of you to more session. Okay, which software shall we install? Any suggestion? I already mentioned that the tools you are select, it depends on the what kind of operation or practice you're doing that. But I request you to gain your skill on QGIS or Google Earth Engine, because still both of are free. So that's both tools gives you a flavor or access to better analysis. The other depends on ArcGIS or ArcGIS, because that's a commercial software and you have some barrier on that. So I request that is really helpful for you if you select the QGIS and Google Earth Engine. So the tomorrow session we are working on the QGIS, and the last day you have get some idea about the Google Earth Engine, because Both tools are very handy, so don't worry, you get some ideas. So if you have not any question, I just share with you the today's quiz link. I request you to complete this quiz within next